Hello, friends. We're going to go over the week 3. I strongly recommend, as soon as I post this and make it go live, probably late Sunday night. This is Sunday morning when I'm writing this or speaking to you. But probably late Sunday night, this is going to go live. I encourage you over Monday and Tuesday to do a bit of work. The more work you do this week, since it's only 3 of you, the more I can tailor the lesson on Wednesday night to support your big ideas and your ideas with your essays. Okay? There's quite a few lessons. They're not that long each, so you can watch them in between certain things. You could even, probably watch them, during a free class or free prep, things like that. They're about 10 to 15 minutes long each, and there's not a lot. The Andy Warhol Eats a Hamburger is not that long either, and that assignment is kind of short. And the comparison writing piece, the Rosenquist and Lichtenstein, I would argue is super important. You've done a good job looking at Coca-Cola plan. You've done a good job looking at She. But here you're having to compare and really begin a dialogue with 2 works of art and 2 artists. That will move you towards your essay. Okay, so it's really an important week for the class so that you get all your tools in a row, so to speak. We're going to look at Wesselman, Warhol, Rosenquist, Lichtenstein, Oldenburg, Thibault, Ruscha, Dine, and Indiana. And they're really the core of it. They're really all men. And it's one of the things we can talk about in terms of when do we start breaking down the sort of ubiquity of male representation in the art world. It's still unequal. But in terms of the abstract expressionist, Lee Krasner was overshadowed by all the guys. Pop is very male. And as we move forward, we'll start really looking at women artists as much as we can. This is a Wesselman piece, just some things to consider when you're looking at the Wesselman. The refrigerator door is actually a refrigerator door. The tin backsplash behind the oven is actually a tin roofing from the old lofts down in Soho. You have actual printed images that are collaged on. You have actually plastic flower there, a little frame of a reproduction of a Picasso print. So there's a lot of things to think about, for example, in this still life. But I just want you to be familiar with the materiality of it. All right? We talked about this in class the other day. We will look at this again. And Rosenquist's Love You With My Ford, he's also using source material, but in a little bit different way. We'll talk about Rosenquist in the lessons and on Wednesday. Lichtenstein, he's using Bende dots to make these images, and he's taking it from source material. Oldenburg, who you've learned about, these are sculptural, okay? Wayne Thibault, and his kind of painting style is a little bit different because he's actually really painting, leaving a little bit of that brush stroke there. It's a type of creamy, almost pastry aesthetic. All right, and then Ed Ruscha just represents the 20th Century Fox logo. Okay. Jim Dine, kind of worth looking at just because he's actually using specific objects, real objects, and he's painting them. Robert Indiana, who recently died, he's someone who, if you're political, or if you're interested in more of the political, the Rosenquist kind of creating a little bit of a message versus this Lichtenstein or Warhol, who are very dispassionate in how they present an image. Robert Indiana is another person you can look at. He made a lot of commentary on kind of slavery during the Civil Rights Movement and kind of the complicity of Confederate states as a moral wrong. So Robert Indiana, actually, he's not famous for those works. He's famous for love. But he did make works that were highly political. So that's something to keep in mind for your essay writing, if that interests you. So our focus is going to be moving towards this essay. And we'll look at some works this week. And based on your essay topics, if you can kind of put together, even before you fully hand that in, if you can get me even a draft of that you can redo, I will kind of help adjust what we look at on Wednesday to support your thinking, okay? And Wednesday we're going to look at Marshall McLuhan, we'll answer questions, and we'll go more deeply into pop artists, okay? Have a great week. Enjoy these. There's some of them may be very familiar to you, and I think you'll enjoy it quite a lot. All right, I'll see you on Wednesday night. Have a great week.